Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max is creeping up on its first birthday, and let's be honest, it has built up some serious momentum in the market. Sure, it missed out on a bunch of the hyped AI features, oops, Apple, but has that hurt its popularity? Not really. The Apple ecosystem and that trademark polish keep it sitting comfortably at the top of the food chain, but now it's Google's turn to take the spotlight. With Android 16 already teasing us at the Android show, the Pixel 10 Pro XL is finally here, brand new software and brand new hardware arriving hand in hand right on time. Who would have guessed? Of course it's Google, so yes, some features will vanish quietly in the background, but that's a rant for another day. Last year, Google introduced the Pro XL variation, the biggest, boldest Pixel meant to stare the iPhone Pro Max straight in the eyes. And now with the Pixel 10 Pro XL, the question is clear, does it finally have what it takes to topple Apple's giant? Design and size, at first glance, the Pixel 10 Pro XL looks very familiar. Google has doubled down on that iconic camera bar and flat design. It's instantly recognizable and still feels sleek in the hand. It's a touch heavier this year, thanks to a larger battery and those new Qi 2 magnets. We're talking 232 grams versus the iPhone 16 Pro Max's 227G. Not a huge difference, but you'll feel it. The body's still aluminum with shiny finishes, while Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max leans on titanium for lighter weight and durability. Plus, Apple shaved those bezels even thinner and added 2 extra buttons, the action button and camera control. Both feel unapologetically premium, both come armored with IP68 protection, and both look like they could survive a drop or two. Color palettes are similarly serious, muted and elegant, nothing too flashy. Display differences, Google went all out with a 6.8-inch Super Actuo OLED panel, pumping out a crazy 3,300 nits of brightness. It looks sharp, vibrant, and clear even under direct sunlight. Add in 120 Hz refresh and razor-thin bezels, and it's gorgeous. Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max comes in with a 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR OLED, bigger by a hair. It nails color accuracy, smooth ProMotion 120 Hz, and excellent outdoor visibility with 2000 nits peak. Not as bright on paper as the Pixel, but Apple's tuning is always spot on. If you want fine-grained control over color saturation, the Pixel wins there. If you want world-class consistency and calibration, the iPhone's your champ. Performance and software, this year marks a turning point for Google. The Tensor G5 is no longer riding on Exynos. It's fully custom, built by TSMC on 3 nanometers, the same cutting-edge process Apple uses. Google claims a 34% CPU boost, and that alone makes it a proper competitor. Still, don't expect it to dethrone Apple's A18 Pro in raw power. Apple's silicon is still the beast of the bunch. But Tensor isn't about brute force, it's about AI. With 16 gigs of RAM at its disposal, the Pixel is leaning heavily on AI-driven features in Android 16, Magic Queue for smart real-time suggestions, improved call screening, photo editing by voice, and plenty of behind-the-scenes upgrades. Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max runs iOS 18, and while it brought ChatGPT integration and some AI-powered editing tricks, the long-awaited Siri overhaul is still stuck in limbo. Still, iOS remains buttery smooth, optimized to perfection, and guaranteed updates for years to come. Cameras, the Pixel 10 Pro XL keeps last year's triple threat, but cranks the zoom up to 100x with new ProRes zoom. 50 megapixel main, 48 megapixel ultra-wide, 48 megapixel 5x telephoto, 42 megapixel selfie. Meanwhile, Apple finished its big camera overhaul. Both main and ultra-wide lenses are now 48 megapixel, with a 5x telephoto and a 12 megapixel selfie. Apple's video game is still unrivaled. Stabilization, cinematic smoothness, and a powerhouse ecosystem of creator apps. The Pixel's AI framing and editing tools sound promising, but we'll see if they actually hold up against Apple's proven dominance in video. Battery and charging, Google flexes with a bigger 5,200 mAh battery, 45W wired charging, and 25W wireless via the new Qi 2 standard, complete with magnets, a MagSafe-like Pixel Snap ecosystem. Apple still sticks to under 5,000 mAh, but don't be fooled, iOS efficiency lets it hold its own, often lasting 2 days with normal use. Charging remains slower at 27W wired and 25W wireless. The verdict, the Pixel 10 Pro XL is Google's most serious iPhone challenger yet. Custom silicon, bigger battery, refined design, and AI at the core of everything. For Android fans or those curious about Gemini's deeper integration, it's a powerhouse worth considering. But the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's still the gold standard. Blazing A18 Pro performance, iOS polish, unmatched video quality, and Apple's seamless ecosystem keep it on the throne. This isn't just a specs battle, it's two philosophies colliding. Pixel leans into AI innovation, while iPhone doubles down on refinement and consistency. And with the iPhone 17 Pro Max already looming on the horizon, the rivalry is only getting hotter.